buying more gear won't make you better. I agree with this most of the time, unless you're talking about a looper pedal. Because a looper pedal literally will make you better. It's like having a band or having a mixing engineer. It's like having someone else there to remind you how bad you are. And that's what we all need as musicians. It's easy to get caught up in the latest gear because there's so much great gear right now. But it's even easier to forget about how much you need to practice because it's painful. It's disappointing because when you hear yourself play, it's just a complete ego death. There are three main reasons that a looper pedal will help you get better. Number one, it'll actually help your time and your rhythm. Timing and rhythm is probably the most sought after skill for any musician, amateur to pro. Great timing, that is like the key. That is the sweetness. That is what puts you above the rest. A looper pedal will literally point out to you if you're not in time, and you'll hear it right away. Number two, a looper pedal will help you with your songwriting and arranging for guitar, because when you're layering and layering all these different parts on top of each other, you start to realize where's the upper limit of, okay, that's too much guitar. Or where's the upper limit of, okay, like I just buried the melody line. That'll make you really understand, okay, what do I need to play with my band? What do I need to write when I'm writing a song? And number three, the best part about a looper pedal is its immediate, unbiased feedback, right? You don't need to set up your DAW. You don't need to set up like your Tascam 388 that you bought vintage on Reverb for $4,000. You just plug into any looper pedal and you start playing, you record it, and then you press playback and you can hear instantly what you just played without any adulteration. And why is that so important? Because when you're playing, your ear is telling you things in real time, because your brain is doing two things. It's playing and then it's also judging, right? So it's creating and editing on the fly. And a lot of times when you play, your ear will probably tell you you're doing a little bit better than you normally would. But with a looper pedal, it is completely bare because your brain's not thinking about playing. Your brain's just listening. And so it'll tell you, wow, your tone's no good, your EQ's no good, your picking's no good, but mostly your timing is no good. Let's use this looper pedal to drill home those 3 points on why it'll actually make you better. So here's drill number one to use on your looper pedal. There are so many great looper pedals now. I'm using the Boss RC20XL. It's my old looper pedal from like 20 years ago. All of these new looper pedals are great. The TC Electronic Ditto, that one's awesome. The NUX Loop Core, I did a video about it. That one's great too. That has drums built in. But I'll leave a link to that below if you want to kind of see like what those features can do. But let's go and use this and let's make our own drum beat, right? It's really important to be able to carry rhythm when you're a guitarist. And I talked about this in another video. Every guitarist is a rhythm guitarist who occasionally will play a solo. Okay, there is no one who goes, I just play solos. Like, you don't get hired. Okay, I don't know a single band that's like, we're just looking for a guitarist to only play solos. Because if you're in a band, you're playing songs. And guess what songs are made out of? Verses and choruses. Okay, they're not made of solos. See how I did there? But you time it with your foot, right? And you count it out with your head. Let's do that again. Let's do it in 6/8, right? In a little shuffle thing. Like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1. That's right. That's pretty good, right? I think I got pretty close there. And now that we have that, and now let's make the next layer, right? So we'll put just a little bit of chords on top, right? And now we have a nice little cushion to lay on, right? Now there's a little bed for us. Now there's somewhere to rest our weary head, right? And what are we going to rest on it? A nice little lead line. So what are we doing there? We're building a rhythm, right? You build the bass and the drum. And just so you know, the way you do that, to get a bass drum note, hit near the neck, right? That gives them a nice woolly sound, a low sound. And then for a snare, you just hit with that. You can hit with your pick. I mean, you can even go hit low, hit high. Now that might be a little bright. So if you're doing that, just roll the tone back. There you go, right? Put on a little reverb. Right, that's kind of cool. Did I get it? Hey, not bad, right? Right, now there's something there. Right, now we got it. Now there's a cool little groove going, right? So just like we're not going to be soloing all the time in our band, let's play some rhythm parts along to this loop. We made a cool little loop, so let's see what we can do with our rhythm. See what I'm doing there? I'm trying to find the groove, right? I'm not trying to win an award with my solos, which I will never win an award, but you know what I mean? I'm not trying to like go for it and like really like let it rip. I'm trying to find that groove and internalize it because I built that groove there, right? And so now I want to do that groove justice. Now, there's two more things that you can do with that. So once you build your groove, you find your groove, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It can just be one chord even if you want. Major, minor, whatever, man. Just strum in time and strum nice and easy. So there's two more things that you can do once you got your groove down and you feel like you're making good progress there. One, start pushing the tempo. Start seeing if you can play just a little bit ahead of the beat to make it feel like it's going faster. And then vice versa, play behind the beat. Kind of drag it to make it feel slower. And I know it's like, that's a robot, right? The robot is not actually moving. But the way your ear will perceive it is it'll make you feel like, oh, is this song getting faster? No, you're just pushing it by like a microsecond in front, or you're pulling it like a microsecond in back. Let's try that. Play behind, right? A lot harder, right? Really hard to play in front, really hard to play behind. Great skill to learn. Number two, let's work on our songwriting and arranging, okay? The way I like to break it up on a looper is writing a section for low strings and writing a section for higher strings, and then writing a lead that kind of would fit somewhere along those two. So let's do the same thing. We'll put a beat down first, then we'll start with some low strings, and then we'll start with some high strings, and then we'll see if there's room for our melody that we have in our ear and our head. And you're gonna do this on the fly. There are times where you wanna take your time and write, but this is not for that, okay? This is for really pushing yourself into a new area creatively. Okay, so there's my beat. Now let's find a bass line, okay? So you hear something low, you hear something high. Now let's see where a melody would fit in there, right? Nice little sad song there, like Tom Petty meets like Jed Hughes kind of thing. When you're writing a song on a looper pedal, not only will you start to understand like arrangements, but you also understand like what are the sonic elements of your instrument. And the reason this matters is because when you're playing in a band, there's going to be a keys section eventually. There's going to be another guitarist, and you guys don't want to be stepping on each other, man. You want to play only what's necessary, nothing more. You'll notice that I'm not playing anything like really far out right now because like that's not writing a song, right? We're songwriting still. We're not working on our chops. This is not for chops. One of the most difficult things in life as a human, not just with guitar, is being able to judge yourself accurately, right? Your brain will protect you from all sorts of criticism from yourself and probably from others too, especially those closest to you. And so the looper is a great way to cut through your ego, right? To cut through the barrier that you've built up over all the years of disappointment and sadness and heartbreak, right? You build up an exterior. Everyone does. That's just life. Life can be tough sometimes, and so you'll have to be brave to cut through. And you know what cuts through quickly is a looper pedal. A looper pedal is the best friend you never wanted. A looper pedal is the worst psychoanalyst that you've ever met, right? Who says the mean thing first. They're not wrong, they're just rude. That's your looper pedal, okay? So when you're doing this next kind of drill, you don't actually need to stay in time, because what you're just doing is analyzing your playing. Made a mistake there. It sounds rushed. Way too much vibrato. Way too much vibrato. I'm rushing. My pick is like really inconsistent across different strings. Like really, really bright on the melody line, like and not enough on the lower strings. Man, see what I'm saying? There's a standard I want to get to as a guitarist and a musician, and the looper pedal will just show you how far off you are. Now, the great thing is that it also shows you exactly what you need to work on, right? It's not like making stuff up. It's not making you guess like the IRS. It's saying, hey, this is exactly what you need to get. Like to the T. Now I know exactly what I need to do. Work on my vibrato, like way too much. Work on my pick consistency, not consistent. And stop rushing. I'm like not playing notes long enough. I'm just like cutting them off before they even have a chance to sit. Good to know that. Can you hear my kids? Sorry. They're having a blast. It was my oldest son's birthday. So they're just wrestling right now. And as you can see, there's nothing wrong with being alone in a room and playing guitar by yourself, okay? You don't need a band to be happy. You just need a good looping pedal, right? Thanks so much for stopping by. No backing tracks this week because you're the backing track. I'll see you on the internet.